So today I wanted to touch on something that happened relatively recently, and it's one of those moments when all the times in the past I would have read about something and always thought, oh yeah, it sounds great. Oh, I wish, or yeah, that would be great if that happened to me, or yeah, that sounds wise, and I can see the truth in that and all that. But until that recently, that I'm going to share in a sec, I really couldn't think of an example in my life where I actually did that and when that happened. Maybe I could kind of have concluded that and found examples, but they would have been almost like too big, like big life changes and big life moments, and it's almost like an obvious thing. Well, yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. I just didn't have almost like an exact example that I could write the same blog about. And this is all about productivity because this second leg of my 110-day challenge on She Maverick is going to be about success, productivity, business, and kind of how to have a sustainable creative process, how to sustain productivity, essentially, whatever it is that I'm producing, how to sustain this day in day out. Um, and and anyway, so one of my is it fetish the word for this? Yeah, I think yeah is planners and anything to do with to-do lists and um, just calendars, like just planning basically. Notebooks, journaling, absolutely, but yeah, also planning. I love to plan. I love to create vision boards and look into the future, goal setting, all that stuff. Oh my god, because yeah, it is so me. I was before I was doing astrology and kind of went on my own doing stuff. I was a project manager, and that was I love that. I just and before that I was, or rather since sorry, I was a coach as well. Both certified, both a manager as well as a coach. I was trained and then had the business, and it's always been like that, just like looking at the bigger picture and then moving towards it, and I just yeah get excited just talking about it. So I was like working, I was producing some stuff, creating something for my astrology platform, and having clients and all that, and then I just kind of fell off. I had no deadlines as such for like a good month, like pressing deadlines, which I was then they always motivate me, but this wasn't. I had yeah, it was nothing was pressing on me, and I just fell off the kind of sustainable productivity when it came to my astrology platform, and just like binged watched everything there is on YouTube on planning, and boy, is there a lot I didn't know. I only discovered the world recently, and I just like changed identity. I became someone else than anyone else who knows me in my life currently, other than my life partner, would just go, well, I just got redesigned my space. I redesigned my workspace certainly, and it was all about beautiful planners and beautiful calendars and beautiful notebooks and creating beautiful things that were going to be part of my vision board and all that stuff. Just oh my god, I was in heaven for a month, solid months, if not longer, but certainly a month. I was in heaven. And then oh my god, just like thinking about it now, I'm getting all funny. And then after a solid, like I say, month, I was like, oh my gosh, shit, I just hello, I need to go back to work, my work, and I have no boss necessarily, but still, it's like I need to be thinking of what I'm doing next, what product I'm gonna place, what I'm gonna create, yeah, all that, and it wasn't to do with planning, it wasn't to do with beautiful notebooks, so and so I had at least a week of like I was addicted to these channels and I was addicted to what I was doing, and it was like I couldn't peel myself off that, but I was already one leg was outside of that world, and I was starting to peel myself, but it was real struggle, and to kind of remove myself from that and just get back to work, if you like, and and part of that week was also shaming myself and guilt tripping myself, like how could you know? I mean, this is just wasting time. You wasted a month, it's like, yeah, no. What a waste of time, just, and money, because I bought some lovely stuff. Oh, that is such a vice of mine. Anyway, and sorry, just for a second thought, how much money did I spend? I'm not gonna even think about that. Anyway, my point is, then fast forward, let's say now, that's probably 3 months now from then. I have an idea for my sustainable productivity as a result, and sustainable income as a result of that month off, like month of addiction, of self-indulgence, profound self-indulgence. And even before the week kicked in of that guilt tripping, I had days and hours like, what am I doing? I'm just playing. I'm just having the best fun there is to be had. I am loving every second of this. What is it for? It's just like I'm just spending money and chock-a-blocking my time with stuff like creating notebook, creating all kinds of stuff like drawing, and but it's all part of planning, right? It's planning, and then my astrology, obviously essential part of that. So planning with astrology is the most beautiful thing you can do. I am just like, and I kept going, oh my God, I just felt guilty occasionally until that last week when it kicked in and I was proper guilt tripping. And then, like I say, just the other, like a week ago, I was hit how that's why I now feel so much more aligned with all the little kind of, what are they called, snags or things that are friction in my current business output, or just my current output, and how I'm envisaging is the word, isn't it, going forward. And there were quite a few stones there, or the snags or whatever, that I just was like, I don't really want to do it that way. I don't want to do that, but what do I do when I need to be doing something? I want to be doing something, yeah. And then this happened, this detour of profound self-indulgence, and I now am so, it's like I'm back on track, but I'm back on track, the track that I forgot, as in I left it behind me because I thought that ain't ever gonna work. I cannot make that work. How can I make that work? Now I know. So for anyone out there ever coming across this video and feeling lost and feeling like they're like wasting time doing something that gives them pleasure, or even not pleasure, I can think now of another time where, so this is going to be a longer one, and that's fine. So to finish the first part of the sentence, which is that if you're there, just trust honestly that it will, it's actually, it's not even in disguise blessing, it's just a blessing. It will get you where you need to be, and you will be feeling so much more aligned and alive for it. And this is the piece that I'm sure, if you're into productivity and planning and all that, you know what I'm talking about when there's so much written about this. All these detours will actually take you back. It's all for the reason. There is always a reason, blah, blah, blah. I always nodded because I got it. I get that. But this is the mother of examples in my life. But the other thing as well, and this is, I'm glad I've arrived at this. This came to me as a memory, as I remember this, right? Which is that I have phases, and they're regular, where I just go into binge watching of a Netflix series. And I remember there was one, it was Dexter. I don't know if you've heard of Dexter. It's phenomenal. I mean, I was late coming into it. Yeah, like, I don't know, late coming into, full stop, just really late. For whatever reason, when it was first out, I was, just wasn't tried, and that wasn't doing it for me. Whenever time, like a few years ago, when I kind of was like, oh, let's see, maybe again maybe I'll like it now. I literally watched it. My partner was away, I think for a week he was away, and I was not working, and I had literally, like, I was like off work and just wasn't doing anything particularly. I had that time, I binge watched it like back to back, 8 hours a day. It was phenomenal, and what it did, it just gave me so much creative juice as to how to, because I tapped into, I resonated with so much, not the, if you're familiar with Dexter, not with the killings obviously, but just like the complexity and the darkness, but also the lightness of human beings. And I was just creating phenomenal stuff as a result. And that's my private. I mean, it's nowhere, I was, doing stuff, creating for myself, if you like. And even that, and I will be using it one day, or even if I don't use that, it will add to something that is also kind of part of this my legacy, if you like, that will be probably coming off this thing that I just kind of arrived at as part of this, at the end of this detour that I just shared with you about my planning, self-indulgence, binge watching YouTube videos on, how to plan with me, bullet journal, what are the other ones? It doesn't matter, I created my own, but still. So it really is never a time wasted. And yet, waste is a real thing in the sense that it's been used in that sense. So I view it like, I can't actually, shall I just quickly check? Okay, so I wanted to check the etymology of the word waste, and devastate, ravage, ruin, but that's like Anglo-French and Old North, whatever, but that's 12th century, so that's earlier. So the longest Latin, I always try to go back to Latin at least. So vastare, lay waste, from vastus, empty. And then desolate, and then from Indo-European to leave. But I like this empty, so as in that's where I want to kind of hone in on. So we do, when I certainly use it as well, but I would imagine most of us, when we use the word waste, we mean like something, it's like regretful, like we wasted, we ruined something, like they say, but that's not how I will be using it, or how, certainly for this legacy of mine that I have in mind. It's essentially something that is being used. So it's like waste of food, but you can say waste food by just not using it, but also waste is when we use something and then throw it in the bin. So that's the waste that I'm talking about, the throwing in the bin, or rather the one that I used. So it's like I used it all up. Well, that's not waste. It is waste in the sense that I used it, but it's not waste that it's ruined anything. And then back to my original point of this video is that even if it feels, and it certainly did with guilt tripping, that is such second nature to me still, is that an example, a proof that it takes you back to far better, more aligned place than you were before the wasted time, wasted journey, or whatever. So anyway, on that note, I think I'll have to close it from here. I shall see you tomorrow.